Why do you have to be so aggressive? Why can't you just be like one of us? Doesn't that just kill you to hear those words? No matter where you are in your career, whether you're just starting out, you're midway through your career managing a number of people, or you're about to enter the C-suite, you probably have experienced this kind of reaction from someone over the course of your career. My name is Julie Halunga. I'm a leadership trainer and executive coach, and I work with professionals just like you to develop into leaders who lead with influence and authority. My guess is, since you're watching this video, you excel at what you do. You've gotten good feedback. You've risen up through the ranks, and yet you feel as though you're not being heard, or you're not communicating as effectively as you could. This happens to all of us. The challenge is you need to learn how to talk the way you want to lead. So the first thing is to recognize the moment where you're using weak language. We all do this. We throw out a couple of words which undermine our effectiveness. We say things like, I think this is a good idea, or maybe, I believe that this could add some value. So we need to recognize who's in the room, what are the circumstances, what's the situation that causes us to undermine our own efforts. Instead of saying, I think this is a good idea, unless you're in a brainstorming session, say, I am convinced, or I know this can work. Recognize the people in the room. Are there certain colleagues or clients or customers who just put you on edge a little bit? It's normal. It happens to all of us. Recognize when you tend to use those words and prepare ahead of time. When you want to throw out a new idea that you think there might be some objection, think about how you're going to start throwing out your idea. What's that first sentence you're going to say? And make sure to use powerful leadership language like I know, I'm convinced, given my experience. And delete the maybe and the I believe and the I think. Delete that from your language. Second, pause. Know that you can always rewind. If you hear the words coming out of your mouth that aren't powerful, stop and rephrase it. Say, hold on one second. Let me rephrase that. What I meant to say was, I know this is a good idea. By all means, you can always do that. And thirdly, remember that other people are listening. You have an opportunity to shape the next generation of leaders, especially the female leaders coming up through the ranks behind you. Pay attention to how you can influence them and encourage them to use strong leadership language. You may notice in a meeting that someone is undermining herself. Don't point it out in the moment, but approach her afterwards. Tell her what she did well, and then point out the opportunity where she can do things even better. So you may say something along the lines with, you made a great case. Next time, I recommend that you watch the language you use when you're proposing your idea. Use some of the words that we talked about here. I know, I'm convinced, I'm confident. When someone talks about a colleague of yours who's being too aggressive, question them. What makes you believe that they're being too aggressive? What words or what did you hear or what was she saying that made you feel that way? I found that she was asserting her point and her experience working within our organization or with that client. Pay attention to the words that other people are using. And when it's appropriate, jump in and question them, not in a negative way, but ask for their opinion and their input. So who do you trust that you can work with right now to help you change your language? Maybe a trusted colleague or a friend that you work with, or even someone that you don't necessarily work with. I will tell you, this is my superpower. I excel at helping people understand and recognize the weak language they're using, which is undermining themselves. Feel free to reach out to me at startwithjulie.com to learn how we can work together to make sure that you are using strong leadership language and leading with influence and authority.